Welcome to a Spirit Animal Message. If tonight's your birthday, I'd like to start off by saying happy birthday. For this message, when I sat down, I had asked, if there was any additional information regarding this message that would help me give the message. And I heard the word lab. And I had already written down the words, I'm here. And then during the course of pulling the first 3 cards, dog did come out. We have personal choice. Close your eyes. What animal do you imagine? What strengths are they known for? What wisdom do they share? Embrace these qualities. So close your eyes and think of that animal and whatever animal comes to mind. Even Google, spiritual meaning of that creature, and just go on a playful discovery of that information, and do that self-reflection to see what is speaking to you about your life right now, what is reflecting towards you that is to assist you in your present moment. What is that creature most well known for? And how does that energy reflect within you? And I would imagine that energy is where you are very strong right now, being it's your first card. And then you had squirrel, always prepared. You are the expert of hard work and hard play. Your cheerful and fun disposition is a blessing to everyone. Don't let life's distractions take you off course. Make a plan for the future, and life will give you all you need. When I was looking at this image, I think this is just like the knee to the squirrel, but I got this thought of the squirrel's tummy looks full, almost to say that there's this energy my bird. So there's this energy where perhaps you ate when you were really emotional, or you prepared for the future, because this is a prepared card. And I feel like somehow you felt like you needed to prepare for the future by eating maybe whatever came as a way to stay alive. And I feel like you're in a better place now where you're able to eat more like these birds' seeds. They eat something more of a light. Well, this squirrel eats something similar, just also other things. I just feel like there was this time perhaps where you were food was an issue of some sort, and that caused you to maybe overeat in some way. Then we have dog, friend. Today I will love without condition. My energy and enthusiasm are an inspiration. I choose to be happy. I am a protector and friend. That's a lab right there. I feel like there might be a family pet or something maybe coming through. That's right. Somebody's family pet wants them to know they're not alone, I feel. Let's see what the tarot says. There is this energy of the moon. So dreams, illusions, revealing truth. You may be contacted by an animal that you were close to in your dreams. I just got this thought of you will get this dream. What is the present position of this energy? So, Daughter of Cups. There's this love, innocence, purity. High vibrational energy. And then there's this energy of love messages. And I think about how we're getting this message possibly from an animal. And I get this energy where I feel like you could possibly be also connecting to energies within your dreams. So there's this energy you're starting out with messages of love. What is crossing you? What is crossing this energy? So, Seven of Swords. I feel like there's been some deception, or possibly somebody thinks that they're going to get away with something. Somebody was strategic. There was some sort of deception surrounding the love messages. I feel like, and I don't know how this is gonna, I don't know how to say this. I feel like somebody may have lost an animal that they cared about. And this is a love message from them on some level. And there is deception surrounding how they passed away. Is that right? The whole truth isn't known. You're you're figuring it out, I feel. You will figure it out. What is the destiny or goal within this message? What is the destiny or the goal of this message? What is the goal? What would the spirit like to say? What is the message? What is the goal of this message? I just heard in my mind to set the record straight. We have the Page of Wands. And I see this page and I see this infinity symbol that the snake is creating. See, this isn't communication. This is wands. This is passion. Passionately able to still move forward despite anything that may be challenging your emotions and your mind. I guess the goal is to set the record straight and to continue the life's adventure with enthusiasm. Is there anything else? To see things more clearly in the present moment, so rash decisions or quick decisions that are made more fluidly. My cats are fighting out front. To stop them if they don't stop. I think they stopped. So your distant past, energy that came, that's from more of a distant past. To better understand this message. And also, so 8 of Wands. This is ending. This is this card where all these cups that were full are now broken and there's no way to fill them back up again. So a loss in the distant past. And it's not just like loss where it's just like, oh, I lost it. It's, you know, an empty cup. There's no way to put those cups back together again. in the recent past. In the recent past, I feel like you received some sort of a awakening about this situation where there was some justice in regards to the situation. Clarity surrounding the situation came forth, possibly. You see the light and the dark of the cat, the shadow, and the material world. I feel like there's this energy of a spiritual awakening in regards to knowing presence. And also what really is striking me the strongest is that receiving some hint of information as far as this justice over a loss, and there was some truth that was brought forth that started that process of setting the record straight. Maybe this is like confirmation to doubts somebody's having. I've had those moments myself where I've lost an animal and there's evidence. However, there's always that one missing piece that keeps you within this kind of straddling the fence, like, am I being emotional, or is this truly, what happened? And I feel like Spirit is saying, believe yourself, trust your instincts. You'd be amazed. I've come to this realization as I've amazed myself as to how accurate I am when somebody's lying to me or trying to. I'll question my own sanity for a little while. Like, okay, they said this, but my insides are saying this. And then, there's this whole game then to be played to figure out, if you're right or if you're just, seeing things that aren't there, basically. And I feel in this case, somebody has lost an animal of theirs, and there was more information that in regards to this animal as to how it passed away. So, we already did this. What is the energy moving into the future? What is the influences surrounding the situation moving into the future? Son of Cups. And I think about how we started out with like the Princess of Cups, and now that we're getting like a progression of cups. Possibly a new friend in the physical world to bring that joy into your life. I feel like possibly a new animal entering your life. I feel like it'll be the fact that this animal here, this swan, is fully developed. It's not a baby, and it's not like an elderly swan. It's in this young but matured space. So I feel like there's this energy where you'll get a new pet that's of that nature, not a puppy, not a senior dog, or whatever animal you resonate to. I did write down lab at the start of this, and as like an intuitive word that I heard, and then dog just came out in the shuffle. And I just got this, that it's almost like a confirmation of what I was saying, success, victory. Yeah, I feel like that's the confirmation card to what I was just saying, that you'll be getting a new friend to just fill your life with love. There's this butterfly image with the Two of Pentacles. Finding that balance within yourself for when you're ready to be that butterfly and emerge. Because when we're dealing with something that is causing pain in our hearts, it's being ready to emerge as that butterfly, right? Like the energy was just saying, you're ready, even if you don't think you are. So a perspective card for this message. And I'd like to just say that I really am. I apologize to whoever this message is resonating to. It sounds like there's some questions as to how you lost your baby, and I just pray that they're at peace on the other side. I feel like when we lose our friends, our love, our creatures, our pets that are like our animals, our children, when we know, we know. And sometimes when we know but we can't be sure of what we know, we question. And I feel like this could be a confirmation reading to say, trust yourself. A perspective card for you is this Nine of Pentacles. I feel like there's this energy to remind you that you're whole and complete as you are. High vibrational. You have it. You have things, and as far as life. You're still able to find enjoyment with life despite what's going on. You're still enjoying life. You're still feeling fulfilled within life. I feel like also there's this energy of you whole. I feel like this is also a representation of maybe your insides. And there's this, I feel like there's always that imagine that dark space within us. And when we lose someone, in that dark space, we still hold that coin for that energy within you. So you're still holding, I imagine this being this inside, this area right here is just your insides. And those that you've lost, there's still this physical manifested part of you that's them within you. And within that energy, you're always together, right? To say that, just because they're gone doesn't mean that they're gone. So it's like you find the enjoyment and fulfillment in life, knowing that even when you've lost an animal or a friend or family, they're still with you. So, let's see, a environment card. And I just saw the numbers. It was 1053. It's the time, and that's 9, which is what we just had, is the 9 of Pentacles, almost a confirmation to what I was saying. 9-9, also on the verge of a cycle completion. Daughter of Swords. So in your environment, you're sending and receiving a lot of communication. I feel like this is this swift communication of clearing the air. I feel like that's what this is about. This is about clearing that air. You see the owl, which is this keeper of wisdom, keeper of secrets in this way, standing on the sword. And you see all these orbs of light surrounding the owl. Almost, it's like this energy to say, the truth is coming, truth is coming to light surrounding this situation. The environment within you is getting information almost downloaded in a way that you're not, that you can't explain it. Intuition, so you can't explain it. And then you have the physical world's environment of communication that is setting the record straight also. So there's just this, it's like the what is known, what is the actual truth, and what is the truth that you can gather, really. How are you feeling? What is the emotions? Ooh. Your emotions are, you'd like to know the truth. You're tired of what you don't know. You'd like to be able to have closure and let it go. Because this could have been not just about, I wrote down lab, but this could be, I think of other people who see this, another animal. But your emotions are, you're just tired of what you don't know. And you'd like to heal and move on, and when it's an animal you've cared about, you'd like to know the truth. You're done being kept in, you're done with what you don't know, is basically what I feel that is saying. You're just sick and tired of what you cannot identify. Because you care. Obviously. So what is the final result of this message, of this journey right here that we've got? The Wheel of Fortune. I'll take these two. So we have the Wheel of Fortune and the High Priestess. I feel like the Wheel of Fortune is here to say that whatever has not been revealed as far as the truth and the physical reality, I feel like the High Priestess is a representation to say that you have intuitive knowing, you have that High Priestess wisdom, right, surrounding the situation. And that inner knowing is going to meet this situation in the middle when this Wheel of Fortune spins and the whole truth is somehow revealed, so that you can find that whole closure for this. I feel like this is going to happen without any... as I said that, I got this feeling of there's this like steps. It's almost like a domino effect of like this happens and this happens and then this happens and then this happens, and then all of a sudden the truth is revealed, and everything you intuitively thought, felt, and did, all those things, is all going to make sense, and you'll finally have peace surrounding this situation. You may feel like you're not getting anywhere with the situation. However, there is progression happening, even if you don't necessarily see it in its wholeness. I'm going to pull from these cards. This is the 42 Ideals of Ma'at in Daily Life. And I give offerings that are genuine. And I don't know how right I am about this. I see this card as, you see how this woman looks like she's ascending. I think of when we are in nirvana, or we ascend to the next plane of existence. Or say we ascend spiritually because we've done what we were supposed to do while we were here. We achieved our soul's mission, our purpose. So then when we pass on, we continue to evolve and mature spiritually. I feel like this creature ascended. Try not to tear up myself, because I had an experience where an animal that I was really, really close to passed because of situations that were beyond me, and I had put these pieces together, and after she passed, I felt her energy talking to me as though she was trying to tell me what had happened to her. And throughout the day, I just kept, because I was very close, when she was a bird, so every time she would feel something or think something, it's like when I put her in her cage, I would get this feeling of her sulking and being sad for being in her cage, so I'd take her out. So I was very bonded with her. I always know how she was feeling. And after she passed away, I immediately got her feelings of, you need to know what they did to me, and just all of these things. And then when she finally did calm down, and I told her to go into the light, not even an hour later, it felt like her energy became larger than life, and it felt like my bird became as big as me and hugged me to say, now, I'm one of your guides. So I feel like this message is similar to an experience that I had with an animal that was actually a bird. And I feel like your friend that you have lost is now one of your spirit guides. So 6. I give offerings that are genuine. The core of Buddhist philosophy stems from an understanding that life is riddled with suffering, and it is our attachment to suffering that lends our life experiences more suffering. In finding mental, emotional, and spiritual liberation from suffering, we attain nirvana, the transcendental state where we are free from the fetters of materialism, detached from the effects of karma, and liberated from the cycle of death and rebirth. In the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, the Atlantean, translated by Dr. Doriel, a comparable archetype is considered in the halls of Amenti, or the Akashic records, where records of past and future lives coexist, but there is also a space where the soul is free from the body, living in light and able to begin the cycle yet again, if it so chooses. Dwell here or leave here when thou desireth. Free is Amenti to the sons of man. Take thou up life in what form thou desireth. Child of light that has grown among men, choose thou thy work, for all must labor. Never be free from the pathway of light. That's a passage from the Emerald Tablets of Thoth. In exploring the ideal of giving offerings that are genuine from a space of non-attachment, with a living philosophy of a light heart in harmony with authenticity beyond any dogmatic system, we must be reminded of the core meaning of what it is to offer in the first place. The word offering finds its root from a Latin offer, meaning to bestow or present, but it eventually evolved into Old English affran, which meant to sacrifice in the way of offering to a deity. Modern society has conditioned us to believe that we must give to receive. In order to receive, we must give. It's a platitude that inadvertently feeds the idea of attachment, because if we give so much and feel as though we are not receiving an equal echo back, it can cause us to experience the suffering of expectations. So, I almost feel like maybe you expected people to do the right thing, and maybe that was part of it. The popular movie and book series The Secret further fed this idea, not only in giving to receive, but also by stressing that by echoing thoughts and visualizing the material possessions you need to have, the universe will open every path and allow the new car or $1 million check to magically materialize in your life. While thought and action do echo back into reality and materialize in some fashion or another, we must be reminded of why we want what we want, and if the reason is to feed the soul or fill a void. Everything flows out and in. Everything has its tides. All things rise and fall. The pendulum swings, manifests in everything. The measure of the swing to the right is the measure to the swing to the left. Rhythm compensates. The Kabbalion. The fifth Hermetic principle from the esoteric Kabbalion relates to the principle of rhythm and the fact that the universe always compensates for what is put out mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. In living in alignment with the heart and giving genuine offerings that provide spiritual nourishment without any expectation of getting something back, we in effect do get something back by the kindness that ripples through the collective unconscious, the being of our doing, the life within our living. The biblical parable Jesus shares in Matthew 19:24 further solidifies the key that unlocks the shackles of suffering. And again I say unto you, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle, than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of God. Some claim that the accurate translation relates to a particular gate in Jerusalem known as the eye of a needle, and only the camel free from baggage or attachment is able to pass through the space because the opening was so small. This perspective of the metaphor seems to have its heart in the idea that you may pass through into heaven with what you are, what you've done, and how you've lived, not with what you have acquired, collected, and attached yourself to materially. Liberation may be found in loving all without attachment, giving because it feels good to give, and allow your presence to be a gift given without expectation of anything in return. So I feel like that's a huge part of who you are, is embodying that energy where you're loving in a way that you don't expect anything in return. And this creature loved you unconditionally, just as you, the listener, just as you love this creature. You loved without condition. And I feel like this creature probably taught you something about yourself too. Maybe that message, this card, I give offerings that are genuine, what I just said in that passage, maybe that's striking a lesson that was learned through this experience that will assist you become stronger coming through this experience. I pray this message assisted those who came and listened in any way that it could. Live in peace, and thank you, and have a beautiful life, and Godspeed to this energy that I was feeling, that I feel like there's this energy of a animal, a pet that was very close to somebody, is also trying to set a record straight, and it also has ascended and is also now a spirit guide to the person watching. Thank you, and have a beautiful life.